My name is Michael Anthony Brown. I'm an editor on the Emmy-nominated season of Wrexham. I think what I enjoy most about this season on Wrexham, particularly the fact that it was a first season, really getting to dive in and create this world to show people the town of Wrexham and the characters that live there. I think one of the things that was really unique about this process is when I started, it was the beginning of the season of football for them. And, week to week, Saturday mornings at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning, I'd get up and be able to flip on the audio broadcast, and Mark Griffiths, who's their broadcast announcer, gave, his beautiful play-by-play every week, and, glued to the radio listening, would actually influence, my energy levels throughout the next week, and I was kind of riding the season along with the town, it felt like, and we would get an interview from a town character, and like being able to associate and really connect with the things that they're talking about. By the end of the season, like I feel like I was like a full-fledged Welsh native by the end. So that was something that was very exciting. It also challenged us to maintain the authenticity of these characters as well, because you're going through the same emotions that they're going through, although they were 15 years waiting for change and some things to happen for their club. So that was it was a really great thrill. This last episode, I think, embodies the journey of a sports fan from beginning to end. The expectation versus reality, the expectation that your team is going to, at the end of 90 minutes, either fail or succeed. And it was a real challenge for us to put this episode together, having so many characters that we had to wrap up, and also tell the story of what happened during that match. So I think the complexity of the edit itself lent itself to some really creative things that we did in the episode itself. And it's a testament to everybody that was working, on the episode. Mishu, Curtis, Charles, and I really challenged ourselves to try to create something that was a unique version of a finale that maybe some people haven't seen before. I actually am very in a very Virgo kind of way. I'm always on top. I'm always like early to things. I was up at 7 a.m. watching the broadcast that was coming across from the Emmys, and I kind of quickly realized like they weren't going to get to all of the Creative Arts nominations on that little broadcast. So I went and searched. Maybe there's a PDF online of like the results, and so I found it, and I was just elated, so excited, and I started texting everybody on the team. I think there were some responses that was like, it made me feel like I was actually texting the wrong person. They were like, what is this? Are you sure? Like, what? Like, I was like, this is Brian, right? Like, and it was a very unique experience that's hard to really describe. I think when it comes to Avid, the number one thing that I always rely on is the collaborative environment in which everything is set up. This, for me, was the first time that I was working remotely, which added another level of complexity when it comes to communication. So not having to think about how we were going to all work in a shared environment is a huge plus. Just in terms of the actual software itself, I love the simplicity. It's not trying to trick you with a bunch of fancy graphics and icons. It allows us to really focus like on the actual material itself. There's just this really beautiful flow to working and editing in Avid that always just makes me feel really comfortable and like I can do my best work. I moved to LA right after high school, and one of the things that I found when I got here was the school Video Symphony. And at the time, it was, an industry training place. You were working with other editors that were getting updated on new Avid software. And that really was like my base education, wanting to go out into the world as an assistant. It was an 11-month program, super intense, super in depth, and it really set me up to enter the world. So I feel like that education in Avid set me up for the ability to work in a majority of the film and TV projects that are happening in LA, and continues to serve me because knowing Avid at the level which I do technically, it's actually made me more of an asset sometimes to help out assistants, or just pick up a couple of extra tasks that I can do that maybe some of the other editors can't. Anybody working in TV or film should take some sort of editing course. I think it's really important. A lot of times you have producers that are going out in the field who go and shoot content, they're shooting scenes, and they don't see that material again. They send it back to us, we're editing with it and all of that, but I think it's really important for young directors and producers to look at the kind of material that they're producing, which I think only will strengthen them in their producing and directorial efforts, and knowing kind of how the sausage is made and how to become better in their own crafts. I think that editing itself is it's the last stop. And if you know that and you know how to get what you want out of the last stop, I think your projects will only be better for it.